What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY up here on Carnival Spirits. There is a new Hatchet Herald. It's time to see what's happening now. And joining me to do this live on my channel, I have with me Davomania and Beastmaster. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Two whoops.
So this actually dropped kind of late in the day on Saturday. We know it's been a few slow weeks here in news. We've been talking about that on the every Saturday afternoon hangouts up here on Carnival Spirits. And it's funny. We do this hangout, and then suddenly this atom bomb of a Hatchet Herald drops.
Yeah.
And the Juggalo world just went shit nuts. So before we dive into that, let's go ahead and talk about everything else that the Hatchet Herald actually gave us. So let's see, where do we want to start? All right, let's just go ahead and read a little bit here. What up, though, ninjas? It's your homie J-Web up in this news net and hole. So the second leg of the almighty Riddlebox tour kicked off last night in Cleveland. I wasn't there, god damn it, but I heard that the show was off the fucking hook. There was a lot riding on this show because it marked the very first time our new Hatchet artist Blase Rose performed live in front of a Juggalo crowd. According to Violent J, the crowd fucking loved her and gave her a loud and sincere family chant as she finished her set. Juggalos, let me tell you something. She has earned that praise. This young woman who has been through more shit in her life than almost anyone I know is the real deal. Her brand of wicked shit is more psychological than what Psychopathic normally puts out, but that's exactly what gives Blase her uniqueness. She is rapping about shit that few other women performers dare to rap about. Everything from date rape to abusive relationships to living with clinical depression. So to all you trolls who accused her of being emo, go fuck yourselves. Because unlike a lot of those whiny-ass emo bands who are playing on instruments that were purchased for them by their rich mommies and daddies, Blase is speaking directly from her heart. If it's too much or too disturbing for you to listen to, then, as Guns N' Roses once wrote on their advisory sticker for their Use Your Illusion albums, you can fuck off and buy something from the New Age section. So it sounds like
I think Jay Webb is showing his age right there.
Yeah.
So that little bit of positivity, it sounds like Blase Rose was well received for the first stop of the second leg of the Riddlebox tour, which is good to hear.
I'm glad to hear that news.
Yeah.
So he goes on to continue talking about the Riddlebox tour. This incredibly long Riddlebox 20th anniversary tour is truly becoming an important chapter in Juggalo history. This small venue-only tour is in demand so hard, promoters continue to hit us up with offers to bring this tour to their town. The second leg of the tour has completely switched the flavor up as far as the lineup goes. So even if you've already seen the tour, you might want to peep this bad boy out again. This is probably the very last time I see people be touring Riddlebox. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't miss the flavor.
Can I just say that you're doing a huge disservice to all of your subscribers and Carnival Spirits ninjas by not reading the Hatchet Herald in the slow, deep, sexy voice.
Oh, God. Fuck
Your new microphone. I'm just saying, you got a brand new mic, and you're using it all wrong, bro.
Speaking of mics, real quick, DC, are you hearing any of that feedback that you heard in the last hangout on my end?
No, man, you sound good, bro.
All right, cool. Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, I didn't even fucking hear you join. Oh, shit, let me get us out of the Matrix there. I didn't even know you joined, bro. Welcome. For everybody who's not familiar with that voice, that is Shanzi, another fellow Carnival Spirits member. What's going on?
What's up?
Right
Just,
on.
ready for the shit to hit the fan, sir. I'm buckled in.
Right on. Well, I don't know if you watched any of the live shit before you joined. I'm not even sure how long you've been with us, but we're going to talk about everything else kind of positive in this Hatchet Herald. Then we're going to dive into the atom bomb.
Okay.
So,
cool beans.
But yeah, I guess thanks for bringing that to my attention, TJ. I will do my best to slow down for you guys.
Oh, God, yeah, there you go. Slower, fuck yeah.
I'm getting one already.
Okay. So I want to go ahead and I want to jump a little bit here. Let me find out where this is going on at here. Okay. So here is where they actually announced the new location for the Juggalo Day concert, which for anybody who does not know, they are going to be doing the full album of Dark Lotus's Tales from the Lotus Pod.
What?
Not sure yet.
Are you serious?
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they plan on bringing ABK in on this one. That I don't believe has been announced yet.
No, it's Mars, dude.
But anyway,
Hold on.
let's
before
go
you
ahead and
move
jump
on,
in.
Can we just marinate in that for a second? I did not know this. Obviously, I don't read everything. They're gonna do an album performance of Tales from the Lotus Pod. Are you fucking kidding me?
They announced it at the ICP seminar. You were there, right? Quote unquote, you were there. You
Look,
might have.
look, asshole. Let me tell you how they fuck up that seminar every fucking time. They give you a ticket so you can get your free prize. They don't tell you what your free fucking prize is. But in order to get your ticket, you got to go to the fucking way back of the area, and you got to stand in a big, massive line so Will Sigler can give you a ticket. And while I was in that bullshit fucking cattle line, I did miss like a good 15, 20 minutes. I had of shit that they were saying. And so I didn't hear that. And Juggalos do such a great job of fucking repeating all the good facts that no, I did not hear that. No one ever mentioned that again since to me.
Yeah, that
I haven't watched it on YouTube. So forgive me for not being the super Juggalo. I didn't know that.
And that's the thing. That was actually the unfortunate of what happened to me as well. I only found out because Megs was back in the tent and she told me.
Why isn't there other Juggalos out there making memes, making like online going, I can't wait to hear Dark Lotus, Tales from the Lotus Pod in its entirety in Florida on Juggalo Day? Why? Because it's not important? Or because everyone in Florida is a toothless fucking two-brain cell, fucking half racist, waste of space.
Give me a beer.
Sorry, Florida Joe's cool.
Yeah, Florida Joe's all right. Give me a beer.
All right, continue, DC. Sorry, I just had to wrap my brain around the freshness. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's
Triggered.
Yeah.
Triggered.
Yeah, and seeing honestly with the big news that dropped in this, Harold, I looked at Megs and I said, well, how about Juggalo Day then? You want to go to that?
All right, DC, you haven't even mentioned what this big news is. I'm just saying, for people that are watching you cold, they're like, what are you talking about? Atom bomb, big news? Am I playing too much devil's advocate here? Does anyone not know what just happened the past 2 days?
Yeah, hey, some people may have been living under a rock, and there's probably some people that didn't even read the title of this video. And if you didn't,
that's me.
So anyway, let's go ahead and jump in what was said here. Now, get ready for another dose of wig-splitting news, as ICP announced at their Gathering 17 seminar, Juggalo Day 2017 will take place in Florida, and the headlining feature will be Dark Lotus, performing Lotus's debut album, Tales from the Lotus Pod, in its entirety. This amazing jump-off will take place at Janus Landing in St. Petersburg, Florida, on February 17th and 18th. Which is perfect if you're coming in from anywhere else in the country where chances are it's probably cold and snowy as fuck. Making a trip to Florida in the middle of February extra enticing to say the least. Together, Psychopathic Records and Magic Ninja Entertainment are combining forces to make Juggalo Day 2017 officially become Juggalo Weekend. As I write this, the lineup is still being worked out, but what we do know is that artists from both Psychopathic and Magic Ninja Entertainment will be delivering a weekend Juggalo entertainment of epic proportions. Tickets will be going on sale very soon. Just stay tuned to our social media accounts and websites for breaking news.
Oh God, yeah, fuck yeah.
I like.
So yeah, that's kind of
I
that's
like
very
how they're
awesome, right?
roping. I like how they're including Magic Ninja Entertainment as their cohorts to be able to put off. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it is. Dark Lotus, different underground entities. You know, Psychopathic and Magic Ninja working together to bring us the Lotus. I like it.
Hell yeah, I think that's awesome too, in a lot of ways. Recently, I remember they just announced that Young Wicked's going to be opening up for the Denver stop of Spooktacular Horror Show, right?
That's not important.
Yeah,
What is important is that no, I'm being facetious, but seriously, did you catch that part where they said the lineup is still being worked out? You know what that's code for? That's code for ABK is going to be on that fucking set, because if ABK wasn't maybe going to be on that set, what fucking lineup would you have to work on? Or are they talking about, like, you know, other acts like Eshan was last year, that kind of thing?
That's what I think they're talking about as other openers.
But they give you. I'm jumping ahead. Never mind.
Don't jump ahead, dude.
Yeah, I'm jumping ahead. Never mind.
No, but it is interesting though, right? Because if they're going to play that first album, and that first album has ABK all over it, you know they're not going to get Mars back. But if they got Mars back, imagine how fucking dope that would be. Dark Lotus, Magic Ninja, Psychopathic, and independent artist Mars. Fucking, you know, what's his new shtick? He's born again Christian Mars.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's all written in the stars.
Yeah, I have fat chance, but yeah, that'd be pretty dope. All right, so the other piece of news that came out of this edition was announcing the lineup for this year's Hallowicked. Fans everywhere have been wondering what's going on at the 23rd annual Hallowicked Clown Show, taking place at Harpo's on Halloween night in Detroit. Well, unfortunately, this year's Halloween falls on a stale-ass Monday night, so we knew that in order to make it worth coming out for, we had to put together something really special to bring the heat. And so that's exactly what we did. But we're not just going to bring some heat, we're bringing the fucking fire. Starting with Blase Rose kicking things off, followed by Big Hoodoo killing it in his hometown. Then we really turn up the flames with a fresh-ass set from Mr. Waffle House himself. Jelly Roll. Then it's time to get extra wicked. What?
Oh, just wait. The bomb's about to drop.
Then it's time to get extra wicked with a set from the very band that ignited the gathering last year. I'm talking about Kissing Candace. If you think that's where it ends, you're sadly mistaken, bitch boy or girl. Because after that comes the man who ninjas will respect and have been asking us to bring back ever since he set the gathering ablaze 2 years ago. Atlanta's own Waka Flocka Flame. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. He finally returns to a Juggalo stage. And of course, he will be followed by Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, dropping a full set of ICP classics, including several Halloween favorites. This legendary Halloween event will be hosted by the Rude Boy and Jump Steady together, and in between the acts, the bump edge will be provided by the one and only DJ Clay.
Hell yeah.
And of course, let us not forget the official Hallowicked after party that night, taking place at the shelter beneath St. Andrew's Hall, featuring an extra special Native World medley featuring artists from Anybody Killer's label, including the man himself, ABK.
Trash.
Also,
That's
everybody
trash.
else from Psychopathic Records will be in the house having a good old time, because this will mark the official and final ending of the massively long Riddlebox 20th anniversary tour, making it not only Hallowicked's after party, but also the tour's homecoming party as well. Wow.
So I got a question. Does that mean that ICP is performing the Riddlebox? I Hallowicked?
I don't
That's
think
kind
so.
of what it sounded like to me.
But it's saying
almost.
they're gonna play like Halloween like favorites and shit like that, like Hallowicked tracks. So I don't know.
I'm just
Okay,
saying,
so
you can't call it the final ending of a massively long Riddle Box tour if you don't fucking play the Riddle Box on it. So
what to me, what it sounds like Hollow Wicked's going to be them performing Halloween classics, and then the after party, they're going to have the Native World lineup open up, where ICP is then going to perform Riddlebox. That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
this is written by Jay Webb, right? He kind of fucked up the way he wrote this. When he says that, because you can tell he's an articulate dude, he can write, but what he should have said is followed by Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J dropping a full set of ICP classics, including several Hallow Wicked favorites.
Exactly.
Oh, I did not
This
know.
legendary. Well, I'm just saying, this legendary Halloween. Chauncey, shut the fuck up. Why are we here? You know what? Maybe we shouldn't even be here. Let's just have DC Fago guy read the news, and we won't be here to fucking talk at all.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have nothing critical to say about the next topic. I bet.
Okay, so here's the atom bomb that we're here for. Everybody who's not living under a rock should already know about this, and have probably already made many upsetting complaints about it. Okay, now I want you to really pay attention to what I'm about to drop. I know Jay and Shaggy announced that next year's gathering was going to be in Colorado, but it's looking more and more like we might actually have no choice but to combine the two major events into one giant event and make the Juggalo March on Washington, D.C. double as the 2017 Gathering of the Juggalos, because we know that most ninjas just cannot afford to attend them both, especially with them being only months apart and on opposite ends of the country. This might be looked at as a major bone to some at first, but we here understand the importance of this march, as it is detrimental to our very Juggalo existence and our eternal legacy. We don't look at the march as a political move, because we don't even understand how politics work. But we do know that marching on Washington, D.C. is the best possible way of letting the rest of the fucking country, and the world for that matter, know that we are not cool with the discrimination that Juggalos endure every fucking day of our lives. If we, especially Psychopathic Records, don't do anything about it, that's basically the same as us all saying we're perfectly okay with being labeled a gang by the FBI and every bone that comes with it. And we are not okay with any of that bullshit. It's been 5 years since the FBI officially declared Juggalos a hybrid gang, yet the effects of such a bullshit claim still continue to haunt us on a constant basis, and thus our lawsuit is still completely in effect, and the fight to clear our name continues daily. There is much, much more to come about the march in the future, but we have now entered the 1 year out mark, and thus we have now officially secured the weekend of September 15th to the 17th of 2017 as the official date of this enormous event, and the Jiffy Lube Amphitheater as the location of the massive 2 or 3 day free concert. Everything is still being worked out and put together as we speak. There will be an official website and infomercial going up soon explaining how this entire event will go down in the near future. It's so motherfucking important to us that I cannot even begin to explain to y'all and why in this edition of the Hatchet Herald, but we will explain it to you in full detail in the months to come. As for now, Juggalos, please do whatever you have to do in order to make sure that you and your crew are all free and able to attend this huge event, because this will undoubtedly be the most historic event in Juggalo history by far. Nothing we've ever done even comes close to the significance and importance of what we are about to do 1 year from now. Juggalos are the last very real American subculture. They call us a movement. Well, the time has come for us to collectively actually make a move. This is not about just albums and tours for so many ninjas out there. Being a Juggalo is a way of life for thousands of us, and this event is our way to stand up and say to the rest of the planet who constantly use Juggalos, there's a fucking typo in that, as a punchline. Fuck you back. But like I said, there is much, much more info to come about this incredible weekend in time. For now, let me drop some dope-ass news. Okay, so yeah, that is the atom bomb of news right there about the gathering next year possibly being combined with the march on Washington, D.C. One hell of a fucking shitstorm, I'll say that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
So where to even begin with that? Should we throw in that recently there has been news from Rude Boy saying he talked to Jump Steady, and Jump Steady is still saying that the gathering is still 1,000% a go.
I made sure to have it pulled up. If you guys see right now on the screen, It does actually say, I'm on Rude Boy's page, and from the word of Rude Boy, it says, "Okay, Juggalos of the world, I literally just got off the telephone with my brother Jump Steady, and he assured me, and I quote, there most definitely will be a gathering this year, 1,000%, as he is working on it right now as we speak. So spread the word, Juggalos. 18th annual gathering of the Juggalos is definitely on." And then as I got home last night from work, I did happen to see that there was a new post from Fagel Lovers about an update, more or less, on the gathering situation.
Right.
So I'll go ahead and read this to you guys as well. It seems as though last night's Hatchet Herald has caused a bit of an uproar on social media. There were some keywords there that I wanted clarification on. So this morning, I've been on the phone with some people, so hopefully put a lot of these rumors to rest. The first person that I reached out to was J-Web, since he is the one who published the latest edition of the Hatchet Herald. Some of the points he wanted to get across are: 1, this is the first time Psychopathic has ever tried to organize a public demonstration/rally. There are still so many details to be worked out, and they are exploring all angles. Right now, everything is in the preliminary stages, though. And second, the Hatchet Herald clearly states that combining the events is a possibility, not definite. Then it has a little excerpt from the Herald where he says, "We might, certainly."
See, this is the importance of being a fucking grammar Nazi, Shanzi. You gotta pay attention to the fucking details.
Okay. Do you have your papers? Are all your papers in line?
Yeah, I saw another typo in there too, but I digress.
Yeah, there was a few in that one, and it fucked
I know
me
I
up a
tripped
little
you
bit
up, but I saw that one. He repeated himself with the use.
Yeah. He then carries on, after that conversation, I hit up the man responsible for all things gathering related, himself, Jump Steady. He echoed that everything was still in the very early planning stages, but wanted to make sure that Juggalos knew the following. 1, a separate gathering of the Juggalos will still happen. 2, they are still trying to find a spot in Colorado where it will all go down, but so far it's been a bunch of dead ends. That has a little extra bullet point. If you know any spots in Colorado that may be suitable for a gathering, please email gatheringofthejuggalos@outlook.com. Don Chaos.
Yeah, I was about to say chaos.
Third, if Colorado doesn't happen, there are still spots in the country that have already said that they would love to host the gathering of the Juggalos, and I'm totally down with them going back to Legend Valley.
Right.
Fourth, even if it came down to it and the gathering and the march did happen at the same time, they would be separate events, making the march completely optional. So that's the news update.
All right,
from Scotty D.
You gotta give us a chance now to reflect on what you just said, man. My mind is buzzing right now, like, especially with what they're saying in the first one and what they're saying this one, where they even put it in fucking bold. Well, you're scrolling around now, but I was trying to look.
Yeah, sorry.
About how. This in this second post, they're confirming that they will be separate events and that the march will be I'm lost now. Completely optional, okay? In the first one, they're emphasizing the importance of making sure you absolutely make it, you and your crew. Even in the beginning of that paragraph, I'm looking at it, it says, we here understand the importance of this march, as it is detrimental to our very Juggalo existence and our eternal legacy. And now after the whole backlash about there being no gathering or the possibility of being no gathering, now they've backpedaled to say that there'll be very separate events and the march will be completely optional. I think it's important to give people a choice and not say, yo, if you want to gather, you got to march. You know, that kind of seems like you're twisting our arms, you know?
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's kind of what I was. That's like the initial response I had to that news was like, all right, you're twisting Juggalo's arms to go to it, and now you're also twisting the arms of the X that would play at the gathering to now be a part of the march. Well, regardless of if they want to.
Yeah, but you know, in the beginning, he said, "Hey, whoever wants to perform for free," you know, they put people on blast, and they did call out Twisted. But to everyone else, they're like, "Look, if you're willing to perform for free for this event, and then turning it into a gathering, obviously turns it into a paid event because there's no way they're going to have a free gathering. So of course they're going to be separate events. You're going to pay for the gathering, and the march is going to be free. But that's going to change the dynamic of the draw for the gathering. They were luring us to the march with free performances to begin with. There was always going to be that carrot dangling in front of us saying, we got freshness for y'all. Now come represent, and let's show the country that we stand in solidarity against this bullshit labeling of a hybrid gang, which I think is commendable. I'm not even – look, I said this to you guys originally, and I said I think that they're putting the feelers out there.
Yeah.
You know, they made Jay Webb go out there and say, it looks like we might actually have no choice. See how he uses these fucking words, man? And then what did Juggalos do? They're like, what? He just said there's no fucking gathering. Everything comes to an end. It's over. It's been fun while it lasted. Like, seriously, they did that shit on purpose.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they definitely had the idea of, well, how can we make sure people come? How can we make sure people come support us? And I think that was an idea. And like you said, they had J-Web put it out as a feeler. And obviously it didn't work.
Yeah.
No, it did work. It did work because it got the fucking whole underground community buzzing, talking about it, and hinging on Psychopathic's every move to find out, is there going to be a gathering? Are you fucking kidding me? That worked exactly the way they wanted it to. You think Rude Boy making official announcement that the gathering is still on is just like not part of their fucking plan? They're playing good cop, bad cop, all right? That's what they're fucking doing.
And speaking of good cop, did you happen to catch Twisted's tweet from that night?
Oh, God, here we go.
No, I'm not feeding into no beef bullshit, but I'm going to say they did very well to play the good cop there. They pulled that card out.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I saw one tweet from Jamie, but I don't know if you're talking about that or something else. Or
no, just where they had stated that they knew there was a lot of upset. I don't know if they said Juggalo's word by word or what. I don't have it pulled up, and I'm not going to go search for it right now. But they said something along the lines that they knew there were a lot of upset people and that they were proud of Magic Ninja Entertainment and of things that are to come, basically. So they definitely played good cop there, like saying, you know, don't be bummed out.
I think what all they said there was, we didn't do it. Don't get mad at us.
Yeah, probably. That's probably.
And then it was like, we got big things at Magic Ninja Entertainment, hashtag just saying, or something like that.
Okay,
that comes across to me like instead of saying anything negative about Psychopathic, they're like, I plead the fifth, and I love my crew, and we're waiting to find out what happens just like you guys are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chauncey.
No, I was just saying I plead the fifth.
Oh.
Fifth!
Oh my God, dude. Like, you got online, and I think DC said it best. We were talking, you know, amongst ourselves on the Carnival Spirits chat, and first thing he said was comments of carnage.
Yes.
Yep.
And, I mean, oh my fucking God. I was like, well, I'm going to check out Twitter, and Twitter was the exact same way, if not fucking worse.
Yeah. So TJ, you're wanting to do comments of carnage. I think now is a prime time to be touching on these comments.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I was planning on it. I already told y'all we're going to do it as a separate hangout now instead of piggybacking it onto every Saturday afternoon. I want to have a separate comments of carnage live stream every week and try to make it in the middle of the week so it breaks up that weekend. And, you know what I'm saying? So, fuck yeah, man. Originally, we were going to do CPN's horrorcore video, but that can wait. This is more topical, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'll see you Wednesday then for comments of carnage.
Yeah, show you right.
It's going to be fun. I want to throw this out there. It's kind of a talking point. And when I read it, I was just like, oh, well, that's no fucking excuse. And everybody feel free to disagree and talk about it, but they said this is not political because we don't know anything about politics. Well, just because you don't know about something doesn't mean that's not what it is. Because if you think about all the marches they talk about that happen on Washington, they're all for social or political change, like the civil rights marches and all that stuff. So you can say it's not, but in my head, I'm going to connect it and go, well, it kind of is. If that makes sense.
That doesn't mean it's not necessary and that it's not important. I think they're just trying to fucking portray the idea of you don't need to be political minded to join this march to help the good fight. You don't have to come into this thing like trying to think like, all right, so what branch of government is going to react to this and help, take like, fuck all that mumbo jumbo red tape. We're supposed to just do our part and rally in the name of freedom and American fucking like basic human rights to not be discriminated against. And you don't have to go in there thinking like a fucking Black Panther or a Black Lives Matter or, like marriage equality. Like really, it's kind of an oxymoron or it's a paradox. It is a political move. But think about this. The one thing that bugs me the most is when at the seminar, Jay was like, oh, they say that red is our gang color. So I say, let's all wear red at the march. And everyone's like, yeah. Let me tell you why that's not a good idea. Because right there, you're just feeding into the negative stereotype and willingly making a mockery of what you're saying is not a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You're saying we're not a gang, so why do you want to represent looking like a gang? But then again, then now you're walking that thin line. Well, why do you want to make music portraying yourself as a gang member? Because it's entertainment. But when we get together and gather, and when we get together as a Juggalo family in that atmosphere, the actual freedom to be yourself, express yourself. Some people paint their faces unique ways that's never been done before because they got that spark of creativity. Some people, they paint their face exactly like Jay or Shags, or they do the worst fucking job finger painting their face like Jay and Shags, and they're just copying they got their ABK face paint on, they just want to look just like their favorite fucking artist on Psychopathic. But to try to get us all to wear red, like we're on some, yeah, this is our fucking gang color, wink, 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 wink. No one's gonna fucking get that inside joke. No. That's not cool. And I don't really like that idea. So you're right, it does bug me that they say it's not a political move, because honestly, it is a political move, but it's also a necessary move. Like I'm for the March on DC. I'm just not for getting hornswaggled. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm a willing participant here. I don't need my fucking arm bent. I certainly don't need to be told what color to wear. This isn't a music video, like they did on that third cipher where they had everybody dressed in red and black. Right. That's different. That's for a fucking music video,
I think a lot of people are concerned with it, like with the march. and stuff is that you're going to get the juggalos. It's going to wild out and just, fucking trash shit. And, and I see that concern. I do. But, at the same time, like TJ says, if you want change to happen, you're going to have to go out and, go to the source. So I guess it's just going to be a card that's just going to have to come and play when it happens. You know what I mean?
And you don't think that this march is not going to have a shit ton of police around?
Right.
Like,
yeah, they're going to be.
The march already could end with some ninjas getting arrested because, they wild out, do whatever. They're stupid. They're there for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but what if they get arrested for not wiling out and acting stupid?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's also it.
Yeah, so this is something we were talking about before we went live. What if there are ninjas out there that are legitimately nervous, afraid, concerned to go march on Washington, D.C.? They're afraid of the cops. They're afraid of the violence, the potential, riot situation that you see that happens with certain, when people rally together, shit can get out of hand. You see it all the time in the news. The fucking cops getting crazy with the pepper spray,
Mm-hmm. And also somebody, I saw a comment right after this dropped, and they made a good point. I'm not going to say their name. It was on Facebook, but they say, I'm nervous for my career reasons because they're military. They're in the Air Force or something like that. So, that's stopping them because they don't want to go there and possibly, get arrested for nothing or being involved with something that could go sour. And I think mixing that with the gathering, with the police presence that's going to be there for a rally to begin with, I think that could be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
I don't think mixing – see – I think that we all kind of create our own interpretation of what mixing the gathering and the march would be, as if they're going to have the bizarro fire fucking breathers on the White House lawn, and then over here you're going to have the girls of Wolfpack doing lap dances with their fucking midget strippers right here on that other side of the White House lawn, and then over here the Busey beauties are going to be fucking – doing ass to mouth on the other corner of the White House lawn. I really don't. I think that the gathering being a week-long event, obviously what they mean is you come to D.C. for the gathering, and then the march happens on the last day. Just like they're saying they're going to have concerts, and then they're going to have the march. You come for the fucking events. You come for the free entertainment, and you stay for the march. In my mind, I get why they're putting the feelers out because they said, DC just read it. Everyone else can read it for themselves. I'm not going to read it again, but skimming it, he said they know that a lot of people can't afford to do both. And they're saying it's detrimental that we all look, I ain't going to try and tell anyone you need to be at this march, but I believe that we need to have this march. If you want to sit at home and watch it from the safety of your fucking, your house where you don't get, persecuted by the FBI personally, that's your prerogative. But if somebody is on the fence, if they're thinking like, oh man, like I really do want juggalos to continue to be a thing and not, have juggalos put on the gang list or whatever, incarcerated. I'm sorry, I don't have the words, but you know what I'm saying. Like look, this isn't going to stop with us. We've been saying this for years. If they can do this to us, they can do this to anyone.
Exactly.
This is an honorable thing to fucking stand up for our fucking rights and to march on Washington. It's not a bad thing.
And, I think psychopathic also needs to stress, too, is if you're going to do the march, don't act like a fucking dumbass.
No shit.
Like, And just for, until now, until the march happens, they need to just, preach, if you're going to do this, don't act fucking retarded.
I don't think that anyone wants to go to the march to act out of line. I think there are juggalos that don't want to go to the march, but they want to go to the gathering and get out of line. And and all of a sudden, they're flirting with the idea of merging the two, and now they're freaking out because they know that the way they act at the gathering is not the way you act at a march, and now they're petrified. Oh my God, all my fun is ruined, all my debauchery, my one fucking week where I can let go, where where I can forget all my stress, because a march on Washington is not equatable to the gathering. That's not a fucking let go of your stress. That is actually a high stress situation where we're grabbing our fucking nuts and we're fucking standing up for our rights. It's completely opposite sides of the spectrum to having a fun vacation and ninjas in action.
Right.
In other words, more people go to the gathering than are actually down with the clown. More people go to the gathering than actually are juggalos.
That's true.
The people that want to go to the march are only the fucking juggalos that care. The ones with fucking heart. The ones who give a fuck enough to stand up even if they are fucking scared. You go to the gathering, it's a chance that you could be scared there too, because you're surrounded by a lot of crazy motherfuckers. It's a different kind of scared. But being scared of your own country, being scared of getting pepper sprayed or fucking handcuffed. There's been like just countless times where people have stood up for their rights and been arrested. Bernie Sanders was arrested and fucking walked with Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He has that honorable record. It's an honorable fucking badge he wears to have done that, to stand up for your rights. And he's not even the same skin color as the people he was walking with. But do you think that the fucking scumbag drug dealers that go to the gathering are going to be like, you know what, man? I make a lot of money off these juggalos every year. I should go march on Washington with them because it's really not fair that they're being labeled as a gang. They buy all my mushrooms every fucking summer. So I should really get their back. I owe them,
Yeah. I got acid, $10 a hit, walking around on fucking Washington.
Yeah, but if anyone wants to go to this march on Washington and holler, show me your butthole, you can just fucking fuck off, and I don't even care about your butthole at the gathering either. You can just really fuck the fuck off,
Yeah.
Go to the Smithsonian. Show me your butthole.
Of course, when Scotty D from Faygo Lovers is standing at the podium delivering his speech, I do hope that somebody yells, "Show me your butthole," just to bust his chops. I don't know. I'm kidding, but Blake will probably do it.
Probably.
That'd be nice for one.
He's the one guy who would. Yep.
Oh man, and he's Canadian.
Yeah, be like, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I was just being polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, has everybody spoken their piece on this then?
Where do we stand right now? So we had the Hatchet Herald, and then we had a follow-up because Jump Steady and Rude Boy, they executed phase 2 of this atom bomb plan that they had to, walk us through the baby steps of setting up the gathering. Look, when Violent J announced the gathering is going to be in Colorado, I'm just going to tell you, like, now, months later, they don't even have a venue. So this is typical psychopathic, shoot first and ask questions later. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they definitely didn't have a lockdown venue when they announced what they should. There's no way. I don't want to tell them how they should do their shit. I feel like that's what most juggalos get all fucking butthurt. And they're like, oh, they should have done it this way. Or they shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. Shut the fuck up. Let them do what they're going to do. But if you want to be involved in what they do, you have a right to be upset, like it, not like it. We all have our opinions, and we all have our emotional responses to this stuff. I don't like it very much when juggalos get all high and mighty, like, oh, psychopathic shouldn't be doing this, or they fucked up when they signed this person, or oh my God, they said this in a song. That's the worst. Like,
yeah,
you're nitpicking their lyrics, and fuck off for real. Like,
how can you make a song called Six Pedophiles and have a pedophile working for you?
That's good shit.
Out of us right here, if they decide to not do the gathering in Colorado, if they can't find a venue, I'm pretty sure us four, we would be okay with that.
Oh, yeah, it's a shorter drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, I had an idea to solve the whole problem. Somebody gets the bone, though, so wait for it. Instead of being locked to September 17th of 2017, this almighty number 17 is really what's fucking it up for us because it's too close to when the gathering goes down. Why don't they fucking wait until next year to give Florida a Juggalo Day? And why don't we have the March on Washington in the spring?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Huh.
Why don't you have the March on Washington happen on Juggalo Day? Why not Juggalo weekend? Is it too cold? I don't know. I'm just saying. Because that way it's like further from the gathering. Apparently they don't have any problem saying, oh, juggalos are coming from far away to Florida for Juggalo Day. But just because the fucking March on Washington is too close to the gathering, oh, we're afraid that you're not going to make it to both. Well, fuck Florida, man. Make the fucking March on Washington happen on Juggalo weekends and then have the gathering as normal. Problem solved. They're just trying to do too many things, and it's unfortunate because they're not doing as much as they used to. But this is what happens when you're trying to keep a fucking corporation afloat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to make those hard choices. And this is completely necessary, bringing us in on it, weighing our fucking reaction. Like, I know that people are upset. I know people are fucking bitching, but they listen to us. This is the case in point right here. They said what they said. We're reacting the way we react. They are reacting back. And that's how we make everybody happy. Or that's how they try,
Yeah, they're trying now.
I think it was all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Shanti.
No, I was just saying, yeah.
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 It's like no matter what, though. I mean, the main thing about gathering and the Juggalo March and all that, it don't matter. The main thing is just to go there and have fun with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And be there with your homies. And and that's why that's the main reason why I look forward to going to the gathering is to hang out with all y'all and to meet some other ninjas and whatnot. And but that's what the spirit of the gathering should be about anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
If they don't make a statement on Washington, this movement, it really could go to shit. It can get worse. I'm just saying, it can get worse. This whole country is getting worse and worse in certain ways. In a lot of ways, this country is getting better too. I mean, I'm not a complete pessimist, and I pay attention to a lot of the positive changes, but you don't grow without that struggle. And unfortunately, as difficult as it might be for people to muster up the money to come and gather for a good cause versus just gathering to fucking, to throw your Lotus up and to get your dick wet and to fucking lose reality for a couple of days. And,
I think the gathering is a good look. It's a good cause because, you're still coming together and it's still positive. The gathering as of recently has had, really good light shed on it. So
yeah, I didn't say it wasn't, man, but obviously every year we gather, it hasn't gotten us off that fucking that stigma hasn't been released from us yet. The only way that's going to happen is to go to Washington because that forces all of the media and the eyeballs to look at the situation and say, oh, yeah, those guys still, getting that bad rep. It's rough, man, because all that hollering back in the day about we don't care what anyone thinks of us. Oh, you think we're Satan worshipers? Fine, whatever. Oh, you think we're Christians? Fine, whatever. There was a mystery surrounding Juggalos before. Now they want to make it loud and clear known we are not a gang. Like before, even originally, Jay laughed at the idea and was like, let them think we're a gang, because that's how he was. He was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But the more they hear that Juggalos are getting persecuted and wrongly, put into the system, and if they just have a certain tattoo on them, now they're classified as a fucking a gang member in the system. It makes their fucking sentences harder to, whatever. You know what I mean? They get the bone through the fucking judicial system.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from that, because it is a real problem, that is happening. Ninjas can't get into the military. They're getting kicked out of the military. They're getting their kids taken away from them. They are getting like harsher sentences for just having a bag of weed on them because they got a Hatchet Man shirt on.
If there's a Juggalo in the military that's afraid to go to the march, I understand that guy has legitimate concerns. Yeah. But if any Juggalos that are in the military or in any positions of power show up at that march,
that would say a lot.
That is fucking commendable as fuck. And I hope they get interviewed by the Washington press. And I hope that they, you know what I'm saying? I hope that they don't fucking wear red. I hope they dress the way they want to dress. You know what I mean?
Show up ragged up like the Riders.
If anybody wants to get ragged down, that's cool too. But I don't like the idea of making us all wear red. That I don't think is a good look, personally.
I think it's cool if they showed up in their fatigues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, show up repping who you are, and then say, I am a Juggalo. Yeah. That's the whole point, is that in their eyes, we all are the same, but the truth is we're all vastly different. We're all vastly different, And we're American psychos. I mean, I loved that era right before Twisted left. It was like this shining moment where Twisted and ICP were on tour together again, that fucking
Twisted was buying donuts.
And these goddamn clowns weren't helping any.
But what I was saying was, all that horrible shit is happening, but it really is still on a state-by-state, city-by-city basis. That isn't happening everywhere. It's really only happening.
That's why the gathering isn't going to change nothing. That's why they got to bring it to D.C. to get a bigger fucking awareness.
Yeah, that
awareness is the only way. Knowledge is power. That's it. And it's very unfortunate that the Juggalos have, for the most part, carried about like we don't give a fuck what you think about us. But now we very much give fucks. So a lot of Juggalos' mindset is not like, yeah, I need to go represent and help the movement, because in their minds, they're like, I don't give a fuck. Do I? Do I give a fuck? I'm not getting persecuted. Do I give a fuck about my fellow Juggalo? It's like all these years of dissing women, and now they're pushing a female artist. They're surprised that there's a kickback after years and years of dissing women. I'm just saying, man, a lot of Juggalos that follow that bandwagon, they're like, now we gotta be nice to a woman? Come on, man. Like, I've been dissing bitches ever since I fucking discovered fucking Carnival of Carnage, y'all. Like, what the fuck?
I was blackening eyes before the song, damn it.
No, seriously. I mean, CPN kid's around a lot, but it's kind of true, man. Like, people are drawn to ICP for different reasons. Mm-hmm. Some of them actually were in gangs, and they got into ICP. And when the Wraith dropped and ICP said, we're not sorry if we tricked you, some of them were like, fuck yeah, you tricked me, fuck you. And some of them, with tears in their eyes, were like, holy shit. You didn't trick me. You just saved me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, this shit goes deep with some ninjas. And
Yeah,
if you're one of those guys that can't relate with the deepness, you might want to fucking open up your eyes, do your homework, or get the fuck on.
You don't have to talk about me. I'm right here.
Well, I'm just saying, man, you're welcome to fuck on anytime you want.
And here's something else to think about with this march. Like you said, the gathering's not changing the gang label. Okay, so what happens if the discrimination continues and one of these years before it even begins, they shut down the gathering because it's a massive gang rally? Then would Juggalos go march?
What if the march causes that?
Well, what I'm saying is this is how it happens. This is to bring awareness of the discrimination.
Correct.
You know, there's no way of knowing if this will solve anything or not. It's the principle of just bringing awareness that yes, we're being wronged, and yes, we are not okay with it.
And I went through.
It's also something. I'm sorry, Shanti. It's also something that will go down in history. Like it's going to go down beyond the underground news circuits, and the whole world is going to know. Like, yeah, that. You know what I mean? Those Juggalos, that fan base, they fucking marched on Washington, and people would be like, "Why? Why? Because people make fun of them? Because they dump Faygo on their head? No, because they were wrongly labeled as a hybrid gang by the FBI. Like, hello, not everybody fucking knows what's going on right in their own country, right under their own nose. Not a lot of people fucking care, so not a lot of people care to know."
There's been a couple people when this first went down at work. They knew I was a Juggalo, and I looked at them and I said, "Yeah, did you know in the FBI's eyes I am a gang member?" They said, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, me. I'm a gang member in their eyes." And it shocked them. And there's so many people out there who don't even know that it's going on.
Right. And I think until this march happens, I think it should be our personal responsibility on all of us, and we do real good at Carnival Spirits is to break the stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we're going to be out in fucking Washington D.C. and it's going to have media coverage, and you know exactly how the media can just twist.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that's why everyone needs to wear red.
So you're going to have we got Juggalos that are there's different types. You go to a fucking ICP show or any Juggalo show, you're going to see so many different types of ninjas there.
You know what, Dave? The inability to differentiate between the types of Juggalos that most people have is the same reason why people call Black Lives Matter a hate group, because they can't differentiate their stereotypes between the people that riot and the people that are actually peaceful protesters. They just see a bunch of black people. We're just a bunch of fucking no good, scrubby loser Juggalos. There's no fucking way to sift through stereotypes when all you see in the media is the negative bullshit and the shit that's, they rap about magnets. Every time a fucking news article mentions magnets, I know immediately that they ain't scratching below the surface one iota, and they don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about when it comes to what's really going on in the Juggalo underground.
That's exactly what I was talking about. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many different types of Juggalos out there, like you said, as far as Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And but like I'm saying, there's different. I'm repeating myself. There's different types of Juggalos out there, and I think it's we, like I said, we do good here at Carnival Spirits to put on a positive vibe. But,
I want to say I was thinking about that. Going back to the whole gang thing, like there are Juggalos in gangs. It's not because they're Juggalos they're in a gang. I'd like to maybe see, there were Juggalos who were into that lifestyle and gangbang and all that, and ICP actually helped them get out of that lifestyle.
All right.
So I want to maybe hear if there's a ninja with that kind of background where they were doing all that and they got into ICP, and then that convinced them to say, all right, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this gangbanging shit anymore. So there are ninjas out there like that too. That is one aspect of it, but there's also so many different aspects. You got juggalos who were gangbangers, and you got juggalos who were born with a silver spoon in their mouth and everything in between. So there's a lot of different stories out there.
They ain't real juggalos. No, I'm just kidding. But that's rough, man, because you got people that weren't in a real gang, but they were just like kids. They were latchkey kids. They have no supervision, no role models, no fucking direction from a a parent to teach them how to fucking be successful in life. So maybe they run with the wrong crowd. And is their crowd a real gang? Maybe not, but they still could have gotten into trouble. They still could have gotten themselves on the wrong side of the law, or what I'm saying, could have gotten themselves kicked out of school, could have gotten themselves involved with a chick who accused them of doing something they didn't do, and then they got fucking jail time for it, and now they got a record, and now because of more bad decisions on top of more bad decisions, now they got neck tattoos. I mean, fuck, dude, the rabbit hole is endless when it comes to bad decisions. You don't actually have to be in a gang to be looked at as a piece of shit in this country, but unfortunately, all you got to do is look like a piece of shit and then have that gang label tagged on top of you, and boom. You know what I mean? How are you ever going to fucking catch a break?
I think if it's more than a certain amount of people, if you have like a crew of friends, like hell, if you have a crew of people that consists of like more than 4 or so people, you can be considered a gang.
If they look at all the different hatchet men and all the different like Joker's cards and all the merchandise that juggalos, all the things people get tatted on them, wouldn't it be the same way like to, call like people that are like obsessed with Mickey Mouse or the Tasmanian Devil, and, isn't like Disney just a big fucking gang source too? Like, you know what I'm saying?
They did make the Natural Born Killers inadvertently.
It sucks, man. It really is unprecedented, and this really is a movement that they have kind of put a stick in the spokes. Coming from Violent J, he makes it seem like it's personal, like, oh, they don't like us because we got big through our own way and not through the other channels. And maybe there's something to that, because if you look at Hollywood and you look at the music industry, who's allowed to get to the top? Who gets the radio play? Who gets the fucking cameos at the music awards? Who gets the fucking constant rotation? That's radio play. But you know what I mean? It's the people who have the fucking managers and the agents, and they got the fucking cash under the table for the fucking, for the deals. They got the deals. They got the fucking sponsorship. They get all the opportunities. And what do they get? They get massive droves of fans through that fucking marketing machine. They're a cog in the wheel, ICP, they're fucking with the music business, but they ain't a part of the music industry.
Right.
So they have become so big, though, that it's almost like becoming what you hate when you become a huge organization that now you're looked at by some of the smaller folk like you are now, you are kind of the label that, has a stranglehold on artists, as opposed to, oh, you guys are artists that are getting fucked over by a label. Well, that's what happens when you run your own label. You become your own boss. You make your own moves. And now when you're getting the fucking boned by the government, you got to make your own moves to fucking help your fan base lose that stigma. All this march is going to do is solidify that it happened and that we made some noise, and maybe it'll trickle out to the rest of the world that, hey, red flag over here, the government's getting away with doing some shit that if they did it to you, you wouldn't like it so much. So FYI, maybe we should stand up for everybody's fucking rights over here. I'm just saying,
Yep.
I want to go to a story DC told. I kind of had this mindset, and I've kind of had this in the back of my head before. even if you are a ninja who hasn't been harassed for wearing a Hatchet Man or having a Hatchet Man on your car, there is still that paranoia. Because I remember DC, I think you made a vlog about it or something when somebody hit your car.
Yes.
And
yeah,
you can go ahead and tell that story if you want, and we'll kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, last month in August we had a hit and run. So we called the police to have them come out and make a police report so we could turn it into our insurance. And before Megs called the cops, she took off her ICP shirt, and I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Just in case." And it hit me. It hit me really hard that what the FBI really has done now, even for those who aren't discriminated, there's the fear of being discriminated.
Yeah. That's why I don't ride around with the Hatchet Man on my car anymore, because it's not worth. They see the Hatchet Man, and I have a broken mirror on my car. They could be like, "Oh, I'm not going to pull over for the Hatchet Man. That raises suspicion. I'm going to pull him over for the broken mirror."
Your microphone is what happened to your mic, Shanzi?
I don't know. Hold on. Keep better now.
Yeah.
I don't ride around with the Hatchet Man on my car specifically because, if I have a broken mirror or a whiteout that I don't know about, they're not going to pull me over for the broken mirror. They're going to say, all right, he has a Hatchet Man. He has the broken mirror. I'm going to pull him over for the broken mirror and rummage through his shit and see if I can find anything.
Yep.
And look at Hot Topic stores. I mean, they stopped carrying ICP stuff because of the fucking gang thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Walmart's like, fuck it, we'll get some of that merch money.
Yeah, but they only got like the designated fucking shirt, like that one shirt,
Yeah,
and that was the most bootleg shit I've ever seen.
In my area, it was on the news once, and it's total bullshit, right? You got the mall, and the mall was selling ICP shirts at Hot Topic because this was early on, before they stopped selling it. But it's funny that they stopped selling it because of that. Because at the mall, it was in the South Shore of Massachusetts. I can't remember, like Attleboro or some fucking place I don't go to often. And kid was kicked out of the mall. Mall security basically kicked him out of the mall for wearing Juggalo merch, but yet they were selling Juggalo merch in the mall. So it's like, you're going to tell me I can't be here wearing this. It's like, oh, I can't wear this shirt, but I can buy it here. How does that work?
It's kind of government saying, they're kind of controlling what you can and cannot wear in a way. Trying to.
It's like, capitalism, how's that work?
This is America, not Germany.
But yeah.
Well, we're going up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Yep. It's about 10 after 12. I do have to be to work in a little over an hour. So I think we've all very extensively discussed the atom bomb of the news coming out of the Hatchet Herald. So, if anybody has any final thoughts, we'll probably go ahead and start ending this.
I say stay tuned to Carnival Spirits on YouTube for Carnage. I'm sorry, for Comments of Carnage. We will do that. We'll do that this week.
Right? That when we're planning on doing it Wednesday?
Yeah, we can do it Wednesday.
Should be a fun ride.
Should be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, and then also, didn't we come to the agreement or to the decision that for this week's Carnival Spirits Weekly, we were going to give our thoughts on the possibility. We're going to say the possibility now of the Gathering and the March being one event.
I want to hear what everybody on the channel thinks. I want to hear what everybody on YouTube thinks. I know that a few people have made their videos yesterday, immediately, but as information is doled out to us, I want to know what everybody thinks. So yes, I think this should be a topic of the week. We can all fucking reiterate our take-home points in a individual Weekly Spirits video if you're down. If there's something you didn't get a chance to say today, you can say it again. But I want to hear what Callie thinks. I want to hear what Panic thinks. I want to hear what Miss Jinx thinks. And you guys watching, I want to know what you guys think.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
hope Ellie has had his bowl of cereal and is a little bit more.
Yeah. So hell yeah, definitely check out Carnival Spirits. If you are not subscribed, stick tuned this week. That'll be our weekly response from everybody on Carnival Spirits Weekly. So for everybody who checked this out live, I thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yes.